All right, rock and roll. We're back at it. It's First Star Let's Chat, an athletic therapy podcast, the official podcast of WFATT. Looking forward to World Congress, and in our build up to doing so, reached across the pond, a long distance across the pond, to grab a couple students that are interested in what's going on World Congress. They're both in Ireland. We have Zak and Fabiano. They'll introduce themselves, where they are, and then we'll jump into a brief conversation on what World Congress means through the student lens and what you're looking forward to, guys. Really appreciate taking the time to jump on board. Nighttime there, end of a day here, I guess, afternoon. Fabiano, we'll start with you, man. Where are you at school and what are you studying currently?
So I am actually a recent graduate of athletic therapy in Ireland. So I studied in a place called Carlo, and I literally finished maybe what 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Um, so yeah, it would have been athletic therapy, or some people call it athletic therapy and training. Other people's called it like athletic sports rehabilitation. It goes by a few names. But there is kind of a few branches. So I would have been in down in Carlow. I think the main ones that people know is probably in Dublin, up in like UCD or DCU. And then we have the other ones, obviously, like Zach would have attended, I think.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on finishing up. We'll jump in
Thank
there
you.
a little bit more on your interests, what you're doing, what you're hoping to do with the profession, and how World Congress ties in there. Zak, to you, man. Thank you again for your time. Welcome aboard. We've just met each other here briefly, but the excitement continues to build. So, Zak, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm a student in DCU. The course is athletic therapy and training. I live in Meath, but the university is in Dublin, so it's not too bad of a commute. The whole focus is realistically assessing musculoskeletal injuries and working towards strengthening and rehab. So working a lot with patients and different sorts of teams. So a real focus on the musculoskeletal type of injuries, and then a lot of kind of understanding about, biomechanics, physiological processes, and all that sort of thing. So working a lot with athletes, but then it can be, people just going about their day and they picked up an injury in work or at home. So it's helping people getting stronger and helping them kind of rehab those injuries. So that's basically what I'm doing at the moment.
I love it. Great, great capture. Are you in school currently or done?
Yeah. So just entered my third year there. So pretty busy at the moment. A lot of work to do. A lot of clinical practice as well. So, but yeah, it's going fantastic, and really looking forward to the World Congress.
Beautiful. And how many years in your program?
There's four with the option to do an extra one as a master's in strength and conditioning. There's a few different options on what you can do. A lot of people, I think, decide to do the extra year, or they finish their 4 years and then do a master's somewhere else, like UCE or Trinity College. But yet to make that decision. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, really, really looking forward to it at the moment, and yeah, just enjoying the course so far.
Awesome. Brilliant. So two different perspectives, two different institutions, but same profession. Fabiano, throw it back to you. A recent grad, your take on the profession, what you want to do with it, and then we'll tie all this stuff in, obviously, to World Congress. You're hosting, I'm coming there, we're coming there. WFAT's coming there. A lot of great opportunities. Fabiano, over to you, man.
Yeah, so I'd kind of be the same. Obviously, we would have studied the same profession, athletic therapy. At the moment, I'm working actually with Shelburne. So Shelburne would be, well, not to brag, but we were the ones that won the last League of Ireland. So I'm working with the academy teams there, myself and actually another athletic therapist as well. So I'm kind of a bit tailored more towards athletes at the moment. But like Zach was saying there, we kind of do know how to assess, obviously, the just general musculoskeletal injuries in the population as well. So I'm hoping to, hopefully by the end of the year, start of next year, have kind of a grasp on opening up a clinic. It will be tailored towards a bit more of the athletic population, but again, you'd kind of have to keep your options open because I mean, you're qualified enough to deal with general musculoskeletal injuries, so don't kind of limit yourself down to the sports side of things.
Yep, love it. I think athletes are everywhere. They are specific to sport, but they're specific to, humans that move and understanding
Yep.
mechanics and understanding how to look at injuries and how to look at strength and whatever we're defining that as. Lots of opportunities. A relatively new profession in Ireland. So opportunities, Zach, as a student currently, Do you look at this sort of like eyes wide open? I can do anything I want with this. Do you feel limited in terms of what you can do, or with the education where you're at right now? Where are you aiming to sort of target?
Yeah, well, the course, look, it really gives us all the tools we really need to, get out into the world in terms of physio and athletic therapy and working with different teams and players. Like, we're on placement an awful lot inside like the college. So there's, Gaelic football teams, hurling, our national sports, and then there's soccer, basketball, hockey, whichever other kind of clubs are in DCU. And to save the kind of cost of like, for hiring athletic therapists or physios from like outside the college, a lot of the second and third years in the course work with the teams there. So like that's really good, like hands-on experience, like pitch side experience, working with a team, being a part of like a, multidisciplinary kind of team. And then at the end of the year, there's like when those teams kind of finish up, you can find a team in your area where you live or in around Dublin where you can work with, which is really great because it's not just the college, you're like working outside the college with like actual teams and actual managements and having to deal with all that, which is, really good. During the summer, I was working with a few different GA teams in around Dublin. There was one in a place called Malahide, a team called St. Sylvester's, their football team, their hurling team, their juvenile teams, and then there's another one like in Clontarf in Dublin, again, senior football, hurling. It was really just a really good experience to get because, again, you're working with senior players, you're working with like, very good teams, proper managements, proper multidisciplinary kind of teams in terms of, different like team doctors, team physicians and stuff like that, working with them, you know, it puts a bit of responsibility onto students and kind of shows them what it'll be like when they're working with teams and stuff. So yeah, no, really good at the moment, and they really give us everything we could really need in terms of doing physio at home or abroad. There we have an option in fourth year for the first semester to go on placement in another country, like in the States or in the UK or Australia, or you can work at home. Doesn't really matter. It depends on what people are looking for and like what's available. But yeah, look, again, they give us everything we need. We can go wherever we don't want. Ireland, it's definitely growing here. It's becoming more feasible. There's other places as well that might do it better, but in the future. So we'll figure it out as we go along.
No, and a great segue into sort of like the international scene as we move towards World Congress and being hosted just outside of Dublin City there in Maynooth. And, here in Canada, we love the Irish, so you're welcome here as well. Come on over. We got lots of sports, lots of activities, lots of opportunities all over the place. And I think this kind of blends, Fabiano, back to sort of tie it into World Congress. What's the excitement for a recent grad? Have you had the opportunity to look at like the programming, what's available, anything in particular you're looking forward to with World Congress besides hosting a bunch of people that do this for a living in a lot of different ways?
Yeah. So I'm kind of a bit excited to just actually interact with people that kind of host and do these and kind of treat different sports even. I actually had a friend of mine who did his placement over in America in the MLB. And just hearing his perspective on things when he's working beside kind of, American ATTs and how the whole programming is completely different. The way they assess injuries, the way they kind of work through rehab, the different types of injuries, something like, oh my word, can't remember the name of it, but they have a lot of like elbow dislocations and they have a lot of kind of injuries that you wouldn't really see here. So it's kind of, I'm the most excited to kind of get to interact and kind of talk to people who work in the same discipline, but obviously completely different ways of thinking, ways of doing things, ways of working, and ways of thinking. Because obviously, although it is the same kind of like say qualification, even the way it will be taught to be completely different. So I'm just kind of the interactions is kind of what I'm looking forward to most. Just kind of having the opportunity to kind of socialize and get to know what the profession looks like outside of Ireland, because obviously I'm from South Africa myself, and I'd never actually heard of AT until I come to Ireland. But knowing how much I know now, A lot of people kind of tend to think that I was victim to it as well. I thought, okay, I'll use this as a stepping stone kind of to get into physiotherapy. Because physio is, that's the name that everyone hears, the buzzword is physio. Even when people ask, are you covering a game? It's, are you physioing for the match? Are you physioing for the game?
Mhm.
But once I kind of did my qualification, I realized how much knowledge you gain from doing ATT, and just to kind of it puts a lot of perspective on the actual qualification and the degree. So I think the main thing that I'm kind of looking forward to is just the interactions, getting to kind of talk to people, getting to kind of mingle with all the different ideologies around the same kind of profession.
Yeah, great. And sort of the pliability of ATs worldwide, I think, is kind of a universal theme, and I think that should get brought out. I've been to a couple of the last two World Congresses, and you see lots of different perspectives. You see how the profession has developed or is currently developed
Yeah.
in different countries, right? And at the same time, you both have touched on like this personal piece of meeting people, networking, talking to people, seeing things a different way, understanding different approaches, and sort of again this constant growth and evolution, but also through my experience, 17 years in now, it's like the pliability of this profession is like, take my title away. We can fit in with an orthopedic surgeon, understand what they're talking about, a chiropractor who can do certain things here in Canada
Yeah.
that other
Yeah.
professions can't do. We can be in the room and we can sort of facilitate or supplement what's happening in multiple disciplines. World Congress coming up 16th to the 18th of October in Maynooth. Zak, same question. Your perspective, you're a current student. Excited, nervous, thrilled, certain people you're looking forward to hearing from or seeing or meeting other than Fabiano and myself, who now we've already met.
Yeah, all those words. Excited, looking forward to it. There's a couple of different talks on ACL injuries and that kind of epidemiology of them, which I'd be really interested to kind of look into because, um, look, ACL injuries, that kind of rupture that is really it's like very, very common. It's become like so much more common in like all major sports. Basketball, soccer, very prevalent in soccer, and even in like our own national sports, Gaelic football and hurling. More so Gaelic football because it's like it's kicking sport. Um, yeah, the kind of frequency of ACL injuries has like risen like exponentially over the last couple of years of sport, like 10, 20, 30 years. Um, they're like so much more common, and the prevalence is like through the roof. So it'd be really interesting to kind of get a feel for why that's happening. Maybe, a bit of an explanation in terms of like, in terms of maybe biomechanics, in terms of anatomy, why is that happening? How can we prevent it? Because like it is a really kind of difficult injury to rehab for and to kind of get through just because of the length that a lot of athletes tend to be out for with that injury. And very common among like female athletes as well. Like, sometimes 2 to 3 times more likely than men to sustain that type of injury. So again, really would like to find out a bit about that. And then there's another talk, I believe, on the kind of the quadricep muscles in relation with ACL injuries and how strengthening the quads, the quadricep can like reduce the risk of ACL injury. Again, interesting to see because, a lot of my own teammates have, sustained ACL injuries. I've luckily have not had to deal with too many on the pitch, like, because it's quite a painful injury. It's quite devastating for the player. They realize they're out for 9 months, and there's a lot of kind of psychological effect on that as well. So I definitely think more research needs to be done into it, and getting the opportunity to see someone speak about it, and like maybe give a bit more evidence of like why it's happening and how we can prevent it in the future. That's really valuable. And yeah, again, just meeting different people from around the world, like very used to kind of ATs back in Ireland, so meeting them from the States, wherever they might be coming from, really great for connections and really great to kind of get a feel for what it's like over there as well. Because, as I said previously, there's a placement abroad in the final year. So, few connections over there, and then, maybe we'll see where it takes us from there. And, but yeah, really looking forward to it and really looking forward to meeting a lot of really interesting people. So, yeah.
Awesome. We're looking forward to coming over and playing host as a country with ARTi being the hosts. And we had ARTi President Lynn Allen was on recently, and she seems obviously super excited and ready to host and ready to show off the country as well as show off what the profession is in Ireland as a relatively new profession in our field. Not that old in Canada, but obviously the United States, the most dense populous country with an AT sort of base profession. There's a lot to be gained from that, but there's also a lot of like that inverse gain from a relatively new profession where, those more established in time, at least, associations can learn from the new, the excitement, the what are we trying to get across, what's being utilized in different countries. I think that's an amazing part of it. I'm not looking away on intentionally. I guess I am looking away intentionally, but just for like I'm scrolling through as we're talking, like the list of speakers and things that are involved in WFATT this year, and it is extensive. It is 3 different streams. There's an education piece for educators, there's a piece for students, and then there's a professional piece. And this is running all sort of concomitantly, so all at the same time kind of thing, different pieces, different ways to sort of check in. I think it's really cool. It has a really amazing layout, lots of different speakers, lots of different topics. Anybody who's looking for it, WFATT.org, just go to that website. You can check it out. It's right there. World Congress is coming. Never too late to sign up. If you haven't, we'll do our best to capture kind of the pulse and what's going on there from the podcasting standpoint. And you two guys, making the time here at night while you're a recent grad, probably lots to do. As a student, definitely lots to do. Really appreciate the time. Not going to take up too much more. Maybe just like one piece that you're hoping to walk away from with World Congress from going there. Obviously, you touched on research and things like that. What do you sort of like an outcome for me? It's networking, and it's seeing, it's pulling what is athletic therapy globally. That's a big piece for me. And then specific to Ireland, like talking to you as recent grad student, and then how it's being taught, how it's being delivered, and then all the opportunities that are there in Ireland. It opens a lot of doors for our side to say, well, why can't we be in the automotive sector? Or why can't we be in ergonomics? Or why can't, or how do we? Because it is being done in different places in the world. So really cool. Really looking forward to hopefully being a benefit to being in your home country or where you're living currently. And I don't know. I just look forward to these opportunities. The excitement for students, the palpable sort of engagement from students is always reciprocal on this side. It's like, wow, they're intensive and they really want to learn and they want to take something away from this. It's like,
100%.
Why we do what we do. This is why we do what we do. And even if we've been doing it for 17 years, nonstop learning, always opportunities to meet new people, hear new things, different perspectives, shake hands, meet people that 5 years ago, I would have said, wow, I hope I can meet them or be like them someday, or learn from. So really great opportunity. I'll throw it back to both of you, Fabiano first, and then Zak. I guess one thing you hope to walk away from, if you can see into the future, leaving World Congress, and we'll sort of tie it up there. Again, don't want to take up too much time, and just a little bit of like a little bit of a pulse on how things are building as we get closer to World Congress.
So I'm definitely looking to walk away with, again, kind of like you were saying, a bit of networking. I've realized kind of as I've finished college how important networking is and how important getting to just know people, not on necessarily a name basis, but getting to just know people, meet people, put your name out there. So it's definitely something that I'm kind of looking forward to, maybe getting an opportunity to meet, like you say, sorry, people that you would have seen and thought maybe, one day I can meet them, or even something simple. There's people that I've seen on LinkedIn that I'm like, oh geez, I follow them on LinkedIn. I'd like to actually meet them in person and kind of have a conversation, ask them a few questions. There's a few things that I'm like seeing that they've reposted, why did they repost that? What were they thinking when they reposted that? Just something small like that, literally just going, kind of getting to actually be able to speak to someone. It's like meeting a celebrity almost, you've seen them on online for months, and you've kind of got an opportunity now to actually just bump into them and be able to kind of have a conversation with them. I'm buzzing for it.
Amazing. Make it real. That's what it's all about. And the accessibility to people is just because they're up on stage or presenting something. This is a very interactive networking opportunities, meals and dinners and garden walks and all the things that have been put in place by the host country, by the host organization and ARTi. It is amazing. I've been to a couple, and we're now 3.5 weeks away here, and just looking up at the calendar, and Excitement's building on this side for sure. And I've been at this a long time. So appreciate it, Fabiano and Zak. Same question to you. One thing that, I don't know, a takeaway or one thing you hope to look at on the other side.
Yeah, like pretty similar to what Fabiano said, like, meeting a lot of different people and not just like people from abroad, but people not from like, nationally as well, like people who I wouldn't normally run into, like, in around Dublin. Some of the best kind of ATs and physios in Ireland, I'm sure will be attending, which is really great opportunity to ask a few questions. I'm a terribly impatient person, waiting for opportunities to come along. And like, when as a student, like you just want to throw yourself straight into working and straight into being in around all those different kind of clubs and different environments, working with people. And, it's great that, college and things outside the college give you that opportunity, but you want to go straight into it. But obviously you need to do your time first. I think obviously meeting different people there, getting a feel from like their experience of like what being an AT is like and what being a physio is like in Ireland. Talk about their, experiences abroad, their different experience working with clubs. Ask them for advice on ways to get ahead and, ways to set yourself up so you have the best opportunities possible. Probably that would be, the what I'd be looking to get out of the Congress. So really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to, meeting people there. So
Yeah, brilliant captures both the 16th to the 18th of October, WFATT World Congress. This is the 13th one. So if it's your first, great. If it's your 13th, even better. As the profession evolves and grows and goes internationally, I think there's more and more opportunities. My advice for anybody who's out there listening is be open, ask questions, answer questions, have dialogue. And like Fabiano, you captured, Zak, like you captured, make it real. This is all about like sort of growth and understanding and passion within this profession, and really looking forward to it. So Zak, Fabiano, I'll leave it to you. Any closing thoughts, but really do appreciate your time. I know getting organized on a time and trying to coordinate this and evenings for you guys is different than afternoons for me, but at the same time, truly appreciate it. I look forward to shaking hands in person, getting to know you guys a little bit better when we're over there, and a World Congress that will be unlike any other to this point. It's in a new place. It's where a profession is blossoming, and
Yeah.
looking forward to it to be there and capture a bit of the pulse. But thank you again for your time, Fabiano. Zak, take it away, close it out however you wish. For those listening, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here as always. Our community grows when people are engaged.
Yeah, I think as hun, try and get in, even if it's not for the 3 days. If you're not able to go for the 3 days, you're only able to go for one day and just pop in and just show a face. Definitely do, especially if you are someone not even just in the AT profession, but someone kind of in the general kind of region, strength and conditioning, physiotherapy, whatever it is, just to get an insight into what AT is. As an AT, you know what an AT is, but someone else might just get a better insight just popping in and having a day of kind of walking around and talking to people in the profession. Just try and pop in if you can, even like I say, for one day, 2 days, if you're not able to go for the whole thing.
Love that.
yeah, just to literally piggyback off what Fabiano said, great answer. Yeah, look, again, just, come in, meet a load of different people, learn a lot of different things you mightn't have learned in other places. So, and meet people who've, really great experiences in other places, working with different types of clubs and environments and stuff like that. And, everybody has a story. So, learn that person's story and, yeah, just be open-minded and learn as much as you can.
I love it. Countdown's on. Really appreciate capturing this for us from our side of the ocean and for the world. For all those out there listening, check it out, WFATT.org. Fabiano will be there. Zak will be there. I'll be there. We will be capturing as much of this as we possibly can. And guys, if you're up for it at the end, let's see if we can meet the goals and maybe even exceed those on the other side. We'll get some feedback from World Congress and then again afterwards. Thank you so much for your time. Again, for those listening, make sure you check it out. World Congress is coming up. If you can't be there, we'll do our best to capture it. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for your time.
Have a good day.
Thanks very much.